Hey, what is up? Hope every one of you guys are doing great. Today, I'm gonna show you Matthew Faros, right? He has made over $1 million trading profits at just 18 years old, but his coaching business is leaving at least 50K per month on the table, right? So by the end of this video, you'll get to see his current funnel, which is bringing in at around 10K per month, exactly what is broken, as well as how to fix it, and again, how to optimize it to hit those 50K 100K plus months on the side, right? And if you're a coach, if you're a creator, you can copy these exact strategies for your own business as well. So before we get into it, Matthews creates solid content and has great credibility, right? But with the right systemized monetization method, he could easily scale without being this weird, salesy type of guru. So if you want to install these exact same systems we are about to break down, click the first link in the description. There's gonna be a full explainer video. All right, so let's dive in.
All right, so let's start with Matthew's current funnel, right? Where does people even, get to know who he is, right? These are the three top platforms that he is more active with. Number one is Instagram as well, right? So daily reels, almost daily stories as well. And his reels breaks into these two parts, right? Talking heads, providing value, as well as the lifestyle. You can see his Lamborghinis and stuff, right? And sometimes he gives some motivational stuff as well, alongside with his TikTok. Now, the content that he posts on Instagram is sort of the same content, but just repurposed into TikTok, right? And the next one is his YouTube channel, right? Because he's starting these series where the videos that he break down is more so catered to beginners, right? And he's posting quite consistently. Like, I would say it's more so education heavy, and every 7 days there will be one video being posted, right? As we can see here, this is 8 days ago and this is 1 day ago. So this is how most people get to know who he is, which is his top of funnel content, how people get to know who he is. Boom. Then once people get to know who he is, how do people earn trust to him, go down to the middle of funnel, and potentially even in the bottom of funnel transact with him, is through this method. Number one is his Instagram bio, right? Which he links his Trend Traders Academy as well as his YouTube channel. I would personally change this to the URL Genius link, or tap the link, so that once people tap this, it brings them directly to the YouTube app instead of opening up a browser within Instagram, right? So Trend Traders Academy, it is his low ticket, around $227 per month, I believe, right? So this one is his Signals community, around $227 per month, as well as he has the live trading. Then boom, aside from Instagram, the way he monetizes on YouTube is pretty different. So YouTube is mainly focused on educational content, but then the way he monetizes is through these two platforms, which is his high ticket one-on-one as well as his Discord. Now you might see this Discord link here, but whenever you click this link, there will be a form, like a type form, that pops up. I'm not sure if I have it here, but there was a type form that pops up that once you fill in the information, they send you directly to their trading community or their free trading group as well, right? Then if people want as well, they can apply for their high ticket one-on-one mentorship. It's funny because yesterday I was trying to funnel hack this and I opted it, right? Their setter, their manager actually called me up, and his name is Luis. Pretty chill guy. I had a conversation with him. He actually runs the back end of Matthews, right? And it's funny because Matthews, he personally make what, 300K per month, 500K per month from trading alone, and he treats this coaching business as like a gambling money. That is what Luis told me, and Luis is the guy that runs Matthew's program. He told me, bro, if Matthews wants to run webinars, he would hit me up. But again, bro, Matthews, he doesn't really like webinars because again, it positions him as this sort of weird, silly type of way. So we're gonna figure out a strategy in terms of how he can run webinars, but not positioning him as this sort of weird, salesy type of way, okay? Which we're gonna go over in a little bit. And it's funny because Luis, he told me that within 3 to 4 months, he's gonna probably quit the info space and go all in on trading. At least that is what he's told me, right? Anyways, all chill, all love, Luis, if you're watching this, right? Good luck on that one, right? And the bottom of funnel, again, there is two main conversion methods. Number one is the Trend Traders Academy, which is his high ticket one-on-one coaching program, right? He asks for your full name, your Instagram username, how long have you been trading, what you struggle the most with, right? How much have you saved up, and then the phone number so that they can dial you up. So once you submit that, you are then, redirected to essentially book a call to speak with his team. Or actually, no, you don't book a call. Their setter reach out to you. Next strategy is the next monetization method, is his mid-ticket or low-ticket community, which is $227 per month. And it consists of what? Live trading. It consists of the market analysis. It consists of a trading community, as well as the trading course, I believe, within here, right? So boom, this is his current funnel from the top of funnel all the way to the bottom of funnel. So once you have a good overview, what does his customer journey look like? How do people go from seeing him to transacting with him? This is what it currently looks like. And we call them the customer journey. Now, there are currently two paths, right? Number one is the Instagram flow. So with Instagram, people probably discover him through Instagram Reels, his trading tips, his lifestyle. Next thing, once they follow them, he essentially nurture them through Instagram stories as well as the reels, and then boom, once they get nurtured enough, they're ready, they click the link, or they essentially buy the Trend Traders Academy, which is his low ticket $227 per month. Or if they're not ready yet, they want to learn more from him, trust him more, they want to trust him more, they probably click on his YouTube channel, and then boom, I'm gonna cover his YouTube flow in a little bit. Now, with this $227 per month subscription, it is estimated that he has around 20 to 45 students as of currently, bringing in around the 4.5K to 10K per month range, right? Purely just from his low ticket, and that is just an estimate. All right, now next, once people go from his Instagram flow, and if they click on this YouTube channel, this is what the YouTube flow looks like, okay? YouTube flow directly flows into what? The high ticket funnel. So he posts educational YouTube content, right? Educational YouTube video, which is great to build that reciprocity rule and really establish yourself as the not premium, but establish yourself as the authority. Once you post that, the description links to the landing page where people can essentially fill out the type form information, and the setters will call them up. So it consists of the VSL, right? The page consists of a VSL. I'm just going to show you guys, right? So this page, right? You guys don't know, this is the VSL itself, right? The VSL up here, this is his statement. Hey, for unprofitable traders looking to scale, this is his Trend Traders Academy. Now, I personally wouldn't put Trend Traders Academy because, quite frankly, if you use Apple phone, you don't want your logo to fill up most of your phone, right? You probably want the logo to be the leastest one. So same psychology applies here. I would actually change this, maybe put it on the top left, and then put your offer statement here. You could be like, hey, join a winning trading group and help you, become profitable, or something like that. I probably gotta, think more about it before coming up with the headline. But it's more so, I help XYZ achieve XYZ state within X amount of time without etc. And maybe attach like a guarantee, and that is an offer statement, not an offer itself. All right, then boom, I would actually click this, apply below. Boom, pretty good, not too bad. But I would actually add pictures here, right, just to increase the conversions. And testimonials looking pretty good. Yeah, looking so good so far. So that is his VSL page, right? So there's a VSL video on the top, and then Typeform application. Once they fill in the Typeform application, it goes into a qualification process. So let's look at this, right? Let's go back to his qualification video. So with his qualification question, if people click on nothing when it comes to this question, they probably get redirected to the low ticket $227 per month. But if they say they have at least 1K onwards, they would be redirected to the next one, which is their phone number, so that their sales team can call those leads up. After qualification, ideally the setter reaches out within 5 minutes, but since it is the weekend when I opt in, there wasn't any setters that was reaching out to me within 5 minutes, but within the day essentially. Once the setter reaches out, boom, the next qualification call. You qualify the lead to see if you want to book it within the closer or not, to see if they qualify. So high ticket close is estimately around 5 to 10 sales per month, which is around the 50K per month mark to 100K per month mark. And people that do not buy, they probably get downsold to that $227 per month low ticket, mid ticket community, which is averagingly around those 5K to 10K per month mark, with his current following, which is 52K followers and 2.7K subscribers only. Pretty sick. So now once we have looked over his top of funnel, middle funnel, as well as the bottom funnel, and we have gotten through his customer journey, what it currently looks like from the higher level overview, from leads, knowing who he is, to essentially purchasing from him, we again have also identified 5 sort of the main revenue leakage problems, right, that I'm gonna go over, that I'm also gonna help him propose like a solution as well. So don't take it too hard. This is the first one of the 5. Number 1 is that there is no unique mechanism or positioning, right, meaning you are essentially being categorized as like a bucket of a guru, because there is no unique mechanism separating you from this 80% of the bucket, right? So if you want people to really listen to you, you probably need a unique mechanism to separate yourself from the competition. The second thing is generic content strategy, right? Right now, I believe his content is not that bad, but with the unique mechanism and him explaining his strategies, which I believe he's doing right now, he can increase 60% at least from his conversions. Now, the third one is the weak value proposition, right? Because again, there is no unique mechanism in place. And last but not least, actually the second last one, is there's no systematic revenue events, which is around the 400% missed revenue opportunities. And last but not least is the broken backend monetization. I wouldn't say it is entirely broken, but it can be optimized even further beyond what it is right now. So let's go back into the first major issue a little bit. So how can you come up with a unique mechanism, right? Because right now he's more so teaching the supply and demand strategies, candlestick analysis, and everything that goes in between it, meaning he's more so positioning himself as just like all the other gurus, which he's not, right? He has personally generated over $1 million in trading profits at 18 years old. So why want to position yourself within that 80% of the bucket when you can essentially jump out of the bucket and create a whole category of one that Matthew owns? Okay. Next thing is that, hey, there's no proprietary framework or system or unique approach that differentiates him. Essentially, with his YouTube strategies, he can essentially get the same education anywhere free on YouTube. So what separates him, right? So essentially, the thing that is missing is that there is the secret sauce that makes this method unique and worth paying for, or in other words, a unique mechanism. The next part is generic content strategy, right? It's more so focused on the basics trading concept, which everyone teaches nowadays, right? There is no really signature methodology, or there is no really like the unique mechanism or branded system that is being marketed to his audience, right? Again, how can you market it without being seen as a guru? We're gonna know that in a little bit. Third thing is the missing unique point of view or contrarian approach that creates the authority, right? You want to identify the belief that your market currently has, the belief that your audience currently has, that it is not true to what you believe. Then once you identify that, within your videos, mention those beliefs, within the shorts, mention that belief, and change the belief into something that Matthew's belief. Okay, once you have that, boom, you can create a unique point of view or contrarian approach that really separates yourself and creates the authority. And then lastly, you really want the content that positions yourself as more so the expert with a special solution that the market hasn't seen before, all right? Third is the weak value proposition, right? Because things that you couldn't really justify premium pricing without a unique mechanism, without a unique methodology that you yourself own, that you yourself has the strategies, right? And again, you're competing on education rather than transformation/results, right? Information is abundant area on YouTube. So really, if you do want to improve this, you can add the before versus after transformation story, your personal story, right? Because the thing is that he's only missing one thing, the unique outcome only he can deliver. If Matthews can figure this shit, if he can figure this shit out, he's probably gonna stand out from 80% of the market at least, right? Last but not least, systematic revenue events. But because right now, whenever he's posting reels or whenever he's posting YouTube videos, he's trying to monetize daily instead of creating this concentrated event where cash surges, in a concentrated event, which I'm gonna cover, just like the Iman model, right? Which he has personally done over $100 million in info products with 75% profit margins. And when people do that, there's something to be studied. And I'm gonna essentially give you the solution, right? Second, there's no planned launch or campaigns with proper urgency and scarcity, meaning people really don't justify why they should pay now when when they can pay whenever they want, right? So really there's a missing revenue event system that maximizes earning potential. And again, audience is not conditioned for buying windows. It's like Amazon, right? You probably have a list that you saved up on Amazon, but whenever Black Friday hits, boom, that is when you buy. Why? You could technically buy it for the whole year, but why did you buy during Black Friday event? Number one, because there is scarcity, and number two, because there's a time frame attached to it, right? And that is a similar effect we want to create within this education coaching business as well. And last but not least, again, we're gonna go over this, right? The broken backend monetization and how to fix that. So there's a massive gap between the $227 per month and a 5K. I'm guessing his high ticket offer is at least 5K, right? Should pre-say this earlier. So the thing is that there's no mid-ticket product that turns leads into buyers first aside from this 227. So the front end doesn't really recoup the cost to make paid ads profitable if you do want to run paid ads. But based on a conversation I had with Luis yesterday, he isn't a big fan of running paid ads. So let's just cross this one out. Last but not least, there is less to no systematic ascension ladder to maximize customer lifetime value. This should be an I. Don't know how that happened. All right. Anyways, we are an entrepreneur, not a spelling checker. Regardless, so these 5 are the core problems Matthews are probably costing Matthews thousands monthly. But again, there's a proven system that addresses all of them simultaneously, right? So hopefully I do not come across as this douche or this fucking guru, but it is a similar model ran by Iman, who did over $100 million in info products with 75% profit margins, right? This was a screenshot I took from his last event, okay? And we call this the strategic webinar launch every 2 months. But again, webinar launch without positioning him as this sort of guru. There's a way to do it, all right? Without positioning him as this sort of, weird, vibe guru type of way. So here's proof why it works, right? Instead of trying to monetize daily with the typical content, whenever people want to book call, they could. Whenever they do not want, they can as well. No, we want to control what our audiences does, right? And of course, in a law-abiding way. So Matthews could create valuable content, education content for 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm gonna go in depth of this part in within this video, so you guys are gonna catch out. So stay along, right? So posting educational content for 6 to 8 weeks, only promoting his $227 low ticket offer. And then after those 8 weeks, launch a high value-based webinar, education-based webinar, not purely selling-based webinar, but education-based webinar that positions him as the authority with a unique trading system, a unique mechanism that only he has, right? And this creates concentrated conversion events while positioning his product as premium and scarce. And again, it opens up the buying window for his audience to justify why they should, invest in him and really take their trading career to the next level. So with that being said, how can we go about systematically launch this? Now with this, we split this one up into 2 different phases. Number one is the immediate cash injection for Matthews to prove that this one works. Proof of concept, phase 1. Once he proves that this one works, and he likes this a lot, the second phase is how we systematically approach it. So once Matthews validates that this worked through phase 1, following this systematic calendar, he could generate an extra 300K a month, or maybe in the future, but annually at least. And this is phase 2, which you guys are gonna see as well. Within phase 1, right, we call this a quick webinar plan. This is the unique mechanism that I essentially came out with, but you can change it to whatever that suits you the most. Doesn't really have to be the market momentum method, but this should be a unique mechanism that you found yourself, that your audience can take value from. Webinar structure, super easy, right? Typically spreads up to this, right? Opening 10 minutes, content section, value section, 25 minutes, content section number 2, another 25 minutes, then boom, offer presentation, at least 15 minutes. Now with offer presentation, don't view this as this sort of, guru mode, let me pitch them. This is not what it is, all right? So I'm gonna go off what this one looks like. And then last but not least, Q&A. Okay, so let's start from the beginning, right? What do we do in the opening? Well, so what do you do in the opening is to welcome them, right? Show your credibility, which is the live trading results or the trading results that you have personally gotten. So promise them, hey, within this 90 minutes of this webinar, you get to understand the complete XYZ system or the complete unique mechanism that Matthew founded within 90 minutes, and that is a promise. So you go over the agenda. Plus, if there's one thing, I would implement this hook element as well. So what a hook element looks like is the idea that, hey, if you guys stay till the end, you guys can participate in a giveaway, which I'm gonna give away, say, $500 to a random person or 3 people who stays till the end and repost the story. So this is one of the hook element that you can use to make sure that people, the attendance rate is like maybe say 350 people. You want to make sure that more people stay till the end. Ideally, 300 people stay till the end and not many leave. This is what the hook element does. So again, not to become like a guru or any type of way, but you really want to sell the idea on why trading is better than other business model, right? Compared to some other alternative, right? Compare trading to maybe agency, compare trading to copywriting, compare trading to reselling. Sell the idea of why trading is better, right? Because if you can sell why trading is better, they're already on your webinar, they're gonna get sold, they're gonna trust you even more. And again, with you showing proof, that alone increases the trust. And you showing your personality within the welcome section, they even trust you even more. So this is like a three sword attack type of way, right? Number 1, content section, value section number 1, lasts around 25 minutes. This is where you introduce the problem and make sure that the problem that you introduce are the actual problem that your audience face. Okay, so introduce problem X. Then once you introduce problem X, super important to close the loop by introducing solution Y. So once you introduce a problem, but then you give them the solution, the loop is essentially closed. And what you want to do right now is to reopen the loop so that not a lot of people drop off of the webinar. So again, this is where you introduce problem Y and Z and give them solution to Y and Z. Then reopen the loop again, going through a live walkthrough of your winning trades and your own trade breakdown. Okay, after that, after around like 50 minutes of giving value, next one is where you present the opportunity for Matthews to guide his students, which you could offer your one-on-one or the group coaching program. So this is like a 90 days coaching his student about his unique mechanism, positioning this program as like an implementation program, because you can only go that much within this 50 minutes. So this is where implementation program comes in, right? To apply all of these strategy that you teach within 90 days as well. So type form, U form, have your audience fill out the form and book a call. Essentially send the form within the chat. You can use Zoom for webinars or Webinar Jam to host webinars. Me personally, I like the aesthetic of Zoom, right? And Typeform, we personally use Uform because it is much more of a cost-effective alternative, and it does pretty much the same what Typeform does. All right, so again, the frugality side came out a little bit, but Uform, Typeform, whichever works best. Then boom, once they close the call, closer funnel begins. Or if they do not, book a call, but they fill out the form, this is where setter comes in. Call them up, see how they can help, and if they can help, books a call with the closer, and the closer does his best, see how he can help, and rolls them within Matthew's program. And boom, once you give the offer, next phase would be the Q&A phase. So this is where you overcome the questions that your audiences has, and you pre-handle all of the objections, right? Install the right beliefs. So again, whenever your setter reaches out, you want to look for these 3 stuff. Number 1, high intent. Do they have the intent to want to learn and want to implement? Because the thing is that if they have money saved up, which is the second point that we look for, if they have, let's say, 100K saved up, but their intent to invest in themselves is at an all-time low, they're not going to invest essentially, right? Or if they have high intent, less to no money saved up, look for the good credit score, because you can again implement financing options for them as well to get them within your program, and you can essentially help them out. So let me go over this one really quick so that you guys can understand how everything works and make sure everything makes sense. So currently he has this daily monetization attempts with generic education YouTube videos, but the new one is we host webinars every 2 months. So within those 2 months, between the first webinar and the second webinar, there would be content cycles ending in a strategic revenue events meeting. We're just posting valuable content until the next event happens. Then we can advertise the newest event. And the results would be higher conversions, better positioning, and predictable revenue spikes, because again, it is a system that runs on its own, which you guys will get a chance to see how it works later within this video, right? So again, your audience is getting, I guess, burnout from the constant selling with every other trading coach within the space, right? With the same supply and demand concepts, right? Essentially, there is less to no way to predictably scale up with the way that we are currently running things. And again, I know this is probably like his side money. He treats this like for fun, but again, I guess whenever we do something, why not put our whole heart and soul into it, make it the best? You know what I mean? So instead of trying to sell every single day, imagine this. You don't leave at least 40K plus on the table every month, but you systemize it. How to systemize it? Again, start from here. You create content for 8 weeks straight between the first webinar and the next webinar. Pure value, education purposes only, building the authority, no selling except for your $227 per month offer. And your audience loves you because you are not constantly pitching like all the other gurus in the space, right? So once you create content for 8 weeks straight, every 2 months you do one strategic webinar where you position yourself as the authority that has a unique trading method. So you're not just another educator, but you are the one that created, again, this is the unique mechanism that I came up, but you're the one that created this unique mechanism. And again, with the webinar, don't really pitch too hard, but more so focus on the value that you can bring them. So again, with this webinar in place, this is what you're gonna experience: 10x higher conversions per hour invested, right? So 8 weeks of content, one webinar would be at least 5 to 15K high ticket sales. And with 5 to 15K, assuming that on the lower end is 5K and we charge around 4K, that is a 20K launch, right? Around like 4x or 5x what he's currently doing for the entire month, right? The next thing is that you will have premium positioning as well as the pricing power. Even if you do not want to charge so much, you will have the pricing power as well. So you stop competing on price with generic education, generic trading education content, but you position yourself as the unique mechanism creator that only you founded instead of you copying from some other gurus. And that alone can allow you to justify at least 5K plus high ticket from your coaching business, because it is your unique mechanism and not just from another coach. And you position yourself differently. The third benefit is predictable revenue spikes, because you know exactly when money is coming in, which is every 2 months, instead of relying on your sales teams. Okay, you plan your business around guaranteed revenue events, right? And again, you can scale systematically instead of hoping for some random sales. And if you guys are interested in implementing this webinar, our team has this Notion dashboard, right? I'm gonna probably pull up like a B-roll probably right now. You guys can see there's each and every sub details that you or your team needs to go through to make sure that a webinar is good has been documented within this Notion board. So if you guys want it, just reach out to me, type Notion Webby board. I'm gonna send it to you, for free. Okay. Fourth, audience that actually buys. You build audience that actually buy. Essentially, you stop burning out your followers with the constant pitches, right? Which probably doesn't align with Matthew's. And number two, you build and test anticipation and scarcity around your launches. You create like reasons for your audience to buy. Essentially, you are creating buying events where your audience is conditioned to purchase and they justify to themselves why now is the best time to invest in themselves into a mentor. Last but not least, scale with systems, right? Again, with the Notion board, prove the model work first, right? Within this 2-week process. And then once the proof of concept has been achieved, repeat the same system for every 2 months. Add team members, clippers, setters, maybe closers, right? Without changing the core system, which is the value-based webinar. And last but not least, within the future, scale to at least 50K per launch while working less or while you're doing the same exact thing that you're doing right now. So how to justify that this event is successful? Let math do its thing. So let's go through some metrics. Assuming that we are aiming for a 40K launch, let's go back up, right? We probably need around a landing page views of 2,500 to around 3,000 people. Considering that your audience is more so warm, the opt-in rate that you want to aim for is 30 to 50%. So with 30 to 50% around, would be around 800 to 1,500 registrations. And if around those range, the show up rate for a webinar, typically it would be around the 25 to 35% rate. For a warmer audience, or if your team is dialed in, aim for at least 40%, right? Which would round up around the 300 to 400 show up. So with 300 to 400 show up, 50 to 70% would stay to the pitch, which is around 180 plus members. Now with pitch, people that stayed through the pitch, around 10 to 25% would feel resonate with the offer, and 10 to 25% will fill out the form and book a call, which is around 40 people that fill up the form. Now, out of those 40 people that fill out the form, 60 to 80%, if they do qualify, would book a call, which ends up with a 30% book a call rate. Now, with those 30 people that book a call, the show up rate, assuming that this is from a warm audience and copywriter is doing its job, triager is doing its job, setter is doing its job, aim for at least 60 to 80% plus show up rate, which is around the 20 members that show up for the closer to see how the closer can help and enroll them within the program. Okay, so assuming that your closer is dialed in, 20 to at least 40% close rate, that on a 20 people show up, that would be around 8 to at least 10 deals. Assuming that each deal is around 5K, this alone would be a 40K launch in it of itself. Now, what should the 2-week launch system look like? We really split this one up into 3 really simple phases that you guys can implement right now. Number 1 is the pre-launch content build up phase. Day 1, post your Instagram stories teasing, hey, big announcement, hosting something huge to help you guys out even more. Day 2, post a YouTube video, right? Why traders should stop using the XYZ well-known trading strategy and use the unique mechanism that Matthews has instead, right? That could potentially help them out as well, right? A better alternative, right? Novelty. Day 3, Instagram Reels showing a unique approach or unique preview, talking heads video or whatever works fine. Day 4, email to $227 per month buyers or customers, telling them that, hey, there's going to be an advanced training coming up soon, sign up or be aware. All right. Day 5, YouTube video, the one trading method that you want to know, that the trading gurus don't want you to know, essentially. Day 6 or 7, show the social proof content from existing students, and this can be student interview, etc. Once the pre-launch phase has been built up, your audience understand that you have something huge that can help them up coming up. The next phase is where we want to redirect all of the attention to register for your webinar. So day 8, post a webinar announcements across all social media platforms. But again, positioning yourself not as this, hey, finally I want to pitch you guys. No, do not do that. Position yourself as someone that are here to help them out. Okay, so webinar announcements on email, on Instagram, on YouTube, etc. Description. Day 9, registration push for with early bird bonuses. Once they reach 100 members, right? Maybe you're giving out something to essentially have this early bird bonus, right? Encourage people to sign up. Day 10, last chance to register campaign and discovery and close. Day 11, this is where we move into the third phase. Day 11, final reminder sequences. Okay. Day 12, this is where I deliver the webinar. And day 13, follow-up sequences for non-attendees or attendees as well. They get to rewatch the whole webinar. And last but not least, day 14, cart close, form close with urgency. And here, if you guys haven't seen this was the entire dashboard template specifically for webinars, right? Each and everything that you would need to do right here is essentially right here. Okay, pretty simple. Now next, once the 14-day launch has gotten pretty successful launch to prove this concept, what would the 2-month cycle strategy look like? Fear not, because this is what I'm gonna essentially share to you that you can implement within your business as well. Let's get into it. 2-month launch strategy framework. Phase 1 is where we rest and we build up the reciprocity again, which lasts for around 1 week to 6 weeks. No, lasts for 6 weeks, okay? Then phase 2 is the launch sprint, which is another 14 days, which is gonna be week 7 to week 8. And this is where the 14-day revenue cycle repeats. So now let's go through phase 1. What does phase 1 looks like? Now again, within phase 1, it splits up into these 3 segments again. So hopefully I'm not confusing you guys, but let's look at week 1. Let's go through it in a step-by-step process. By the end of this, it's going to be so simple that you can implement it right away. Week 1 would be a post-launch analysis. After that 14-day launch framework, review, hey, what were the webinar metrics? What were the show-up rate? What percent of people watch through the pitch? What were the opt-in page to registration, like conversion rate looking like? Okay, collect feedback as well as student testimonials from existing old students, and plan for the next launch team and the unique angle. Because once we plan this, the next content, the next few weeks, all of the content that you build up would be based around this unique angle. And set up fulfillment for, again, new customers, so that we can increase the customer lifetime value. And what is this score? And we want customers to like us. Week 2 through week 4 within phase 1 is where the content creation and authority building stage begins. YouTube, every 2 videos per week, educational, no pitching, all right? Just share pure value, build up the reciprocity. Instagram, stay the same, daily reels, posts about trading tips, lifestyle, flex a little bit to show that you're the man. Results, emails at least daily or 3 times per week, value-driven emails about unique mechanism, and focus on really establish your expertise and share your students' win, so that people can know that you're competent and you can actually get the results. Teach the methodology as well. Okay, position yourself differently from the competition. Week 5 through week 6, towards the end of this rest and build period of phase 1 is what? You start introducing the next webinar launch team, and introducing it subtly. Don't want to be like,
hey, the next webinar I'm gonna share XYZ. No,
that's gay as fuck. That's gay as fuck. Do not do that. Next thing, share more advanced market momentum concept or the unique mechanism concepts. All right, then begin sharing social proof campaigns, student testimonials, student interviews, your personal live trade, etc. And then launch the email list, right? Start warming up for the next webinar announcements. Tell them that, hey, you do not want to miss the next one, because this is probably something that I have never covered out within my videos. And over the past few weeks, the videos that you've seen, it was great, but this webinar would be next level. Introducing that way and actually deliver on it. How to deliver? We're going to cover it as well. Now then, we're going to move into phase 2, which is the launch sprint. Again, this will be a 14-day launch period, just like the phase where we prove the concept. Week 7 would be the registration phase. Days 1 through day 3, webinar announcements across all social media platforms. If you want, run ads as well to get more conversions, right? Day 4 to day 5, early bird bonus promotion to incentivize people to actually sign up from your webinar. Day 6 through day 7, towards the end of the week, final registration push with urgency. Again, you want to create a reason why people should buy, and the urgency will push people to essentially purchase, not buy. Excuse the little misworded over there. Anyways, last week would be week 8, the last week within the phase 2, which is what splits into these 5 days. Day 8 through day 10 is a final reminder sequences and final push for all registrations. Day 11, deliver the webinar. Day 12 to day 14, follow-up sequences being pushed out, as well as the different card strategies, right? Push them to sign up or push them to book a call. So what happens between each launches is super simple. Like I said, the content strategy, what to post, how to build the list, the leads, the registrations, and the fulfillment and social proof. Once these 3 systems are dialed in, getting those like at least 20K, 50K launches would be clockwork, given that everything is systemized. So let's look at how to systemize it. Content strategy will only be about educational YouTube videos about the unique mechanism. Could be the vlog, could be the lifestyle, or have a mix, right? Instagram, show the behind the scenes student wins as well, lifestyle content and talking head to provide daily value. Emails, daily value emails, building anticipation for the next launch. And again, no high ticket selling. No. Only promote the $227 per month, low ticket, mid ticket, to keep your audience engaged and to keep to a point where, hey, if they want to take it seriously, right? You want to acquire, you want to take your money right there and then. We're not, money phobia. Anyways, okay. But once we take it, we gotta deliver. Okay, we gotta deliver. List building, how to build the list so that each and every webinar, the list just grows and grows and grows, and the launches just keeps getting bigger. Number 1, to post content, you can essentially clip the webinar content into multiple YouTube videos. Clip out the most value condensed part and create Instagram Reels from webinar highlights if that is applicable. If not, don't run it. If it looks gay, don't run it at all. Then third, run the unique mechanism lead magnets, right? Could be the Notion trading tracker or something like that, right? Last but not least, cross promote on other trading podcasts or channels. Okay, now this one might be a little bit advanced, so if you guys want to skip this, no problem at all. The third strategy, how to systemize the fulfillment as well as social proof. Number one, most importantly, deliver results and get them results. That is the most important thing. Okay, and again, document your student transformation, student interviews, right? What does your student do on a daily basis? Acquire the data, send it the form to them, acquire that data, and create case studies for the next launch to prove that, hey, I know my shit, and you should probably listen to me to accelerate your trading career. And really what you're trying to do here is build up the data library to know which student experiences what, how they experiences the win, and how we can systematically systemize the process from getting someone from point A to point Z as systematized as possible. The next thing is to build the testimonial library. Easy, easy, easy. So team structure, what does it look like to pull off a launch like this? Super simple. The team structure splits into three important parts. Number one is the distribution team. Get a fuck ton of eyeballs. Number two is the conversion teams. And number three, again, once we convert it, is the fulfillment team. How do we deliver the results? Within distribution team, you probably need clippers to essentially clip up your existing YouTube content, repurpose them on different shorts. And with clippers, our whole goal here is not to monetize from clippers, but to gain the awareness. Once clippers go viral, install a thumbnail designer and optimize all thumbnails. Use the thumbnail rehashing method. And the thumbnail rehashing method just says that each time you refresh an old video with a new thumbnail, that old video gets resurfaced, gets refreshed into the algorithm, and YouTube pushes it like a new video essentially. Okay, so YouTube designer to constantly rehash old thumbnails. And again, creative director. Now this creative director really oversees how the brand visual looks like, and typically this would be Matthews himself. And again, editor, right? 2 to 3 content per week. And media buyers if he does want to run ads. So media buyer, he runs the ads, optimize the ads performance. Okay, so this is optional depending on Matthews. All right, conversion teams. Once we get a fuck ton of eyeballs, we get more people to know who we are. How do we convert them is through these 5 simple guys, right? Copywriter, AI copywriter even, educational copy and conversion sequence copy, SDR, triager, and closer, who qualifies the attendees, converts those prospects into mentees in the most ethical way. VSL editor edits the VSLs and ads with brand alignment, okay? And fourth, a slide designer, right? Probably need someone to design the slides, make it aesthetic and suitable to the brand. Webinar coordinator as well, the registration pages, what does it look like, right? The sequences, the follow-ups, right? The post-launch flow, what does it look like? And once we get a lot of eyeballs, we convert those eyeballs. Now how do we fulfill and we get results? Okay, easy. Customer success manager as well as a coach, which customer success managers ensures the quality of the product and make sure that it delivers the transformation, which is the coach's responsibility. And boom, that wraps up the systematized launch strategy from phase 1 all the way to phase 2. Now, knowing that every 2 months a webinar is systematically being launched, what does the future funnel look like? Okay, it probably will look something like this, and I'm gonna run through this. And if you guys want to implement this, this will give you a good picture in terms of what your future funnel and optimized funnel will look like. Start from the same, right? Instagram Reels, keep the same, talking heads, lifestyle, maybe add some student testimonials as well, right? TikTok stays the same. Damn, it's quite low views, even with a Lamborghini. Anyways, respect, as well as the YouTube, right? Push harder content and go education heavy, because this is where we earn the trust of new viewers. And if there's something I would add is to introduce a clipping team, right? Introduce different clippings account, and this one can be like what? Matthews wisdom, Matthews traits, Matthews wisdom from Matthews, etc. to repurpose those content into shorts, right? Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok even. And the whole goal is to this: gain awareness, not to sell people, but to just make people aware of who he is, because once those clippers make people aware of his face, boom, the face shows up again on YouTube, and this is where people would click on his face and watch the entire 30-minute video. Okay, once you can have that, your funnel, your top of funnel, middle funnel would be dialed in. Now, once you have your top of funnel, middle funnel dialed in, what should the bottom of funnel look like? I'm gonna cover this in a second. Instagram bio, probably optimize it to just YouTube, and as well as the low ticket community as well. So same structure, but with YouTube, I would change up the description to the free Discord, as well as just a 227. And as the webinar approaches 14 days, change all of the link to what? The webinar registration one. Okay, just change it there. All right, so keep nurturing people, provide free value over here, show personality as well, right? Pretty engaged community. Boom, middle funnel, then bottom of funnel every 2 months, right? Probably have a webinar page as well. So how I would do it is that probably have a headline, the hero section, maybe a mini VSL to make people sign up, button here to sign up, proof what they're gonna learn, step 1, step 2, step 3, more proof, button to sign up. That would be the page, okay? And then that would be it. Like with every webinar, don't position yourself as this sort of guru, but really just be yourself, enjoy the entire process, and really place your audiences first, right? Think likely of yourself and deeply of the world. I feel like that quote hit me a lot. I don't know how it hits you guys, but really serve people, right? It is what it is. This is what this video is for, to help you scale your coaching business. And again, if you guys want to scale it up, have the right team in place, let's hop on a call, right? We can see how I could help you out, right? Even if we do not partner up, I'm gonna give you like the strategic ways, even some assets that we internally use that I can install within your business. I'm gonna send it to you, and maybe when you run it up, let's come back, let's see how we can partner up.
All right, so with that being said, hopefully this one was valuable, and again, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.